Hi all, my name is Sanal Bhushan. Welcome to Physics Login, the easiest way to understand concept of physics. So let's log in. Today we are going to start the first chapter of grade 11 physics. So first chapter is physical world. From exam point of view, you hardly get questions from this one. But this chapter is important to understand the physics, what is physics. To increase the interest in the subject, you need to understand this chapter. Okay, let's begin. In 10th grade, you have studied science subject, right? Science. The science subject is divided into two. First one is biology. Second is physical science. Physical science. Again, this physical science is again classified into two. First one, chemistry, and second is physics. This is our subject, physics, very beautiful subject. If you study that properly, this is the easiest and interesting subject. So you should understand all concepts clearly. So, what is physics? In simple words, physics is the collection of laws of nature. Everything and anything happens around you is explained by physics. So, this is a very important subject, right? So, study of physics includes different steps: systematic study, scientific study of a phenomenon, of an event. Simply, an event means, suppose I'm dropping an object from a height. What happens? It comes down. This is natural phenomenon, right? Due to gravity, it is coming down. We know the reasons, everything. But if you want to study, for example, we can consider this, or you can consider a fluid, a liquid is flowing. Waterfall. For example, a waterfall. A water is falling from a height. So you want to study this event. Step by step method I will explain. First thing, you have to observe the phenomenon first. So that is systematic study of science, okay? Systematic study of an event. So first step is observation. So what you have observed here, water is falling from a height. Okay, that is your observation. Second is you want to study that thing, right? What is happening there? To study that, what you will do? Second, controlled experiment. Controlled experiment is required because if you are studying this phenomenon itself, it will be difficult. From very high, waters are falling with very high velocity, everything is there. So it will be difficult for you. So what you are doing, you have to create a controlled experiment. In laboratory, you have to create a flow. From this height, the water is falling down. Observe that phenomenon. It is possible now, right? Then, controlled experiment means that. The third one is qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative and quantitative reason. You have to give reason, a quality reason and a quantity reason. That means, I will explain that. From laboratory, you found that if you pour water in a leveled surface, it won't flow, right? Imagine a drop of water is here. What happens? It will stationary there, right? It won't move. If you want to make it flow, what you have to do? You have to give an inclination, right? Tilt this surface, it will fall, right? Start falling. So that is your reasoning, qualitative reasoning. You have given a quality reason for that phenomenon, right? It is falling when you give an inclination to the surface. Then next is quantitative reasoning. So you have to quantify that reason. You have to calculate with what velocity, what speed it is coming down. If you are giving that also, that is called quantitative reasoning. That is qualitative and quantitative. Difference is there, right? Quality, if you are giving a quality reason, that is when you provide an inclination, it will come down. That is quality reasoning. Quantified reasoning means this fluid, if I give 30-degree inclination, this fluid will come with a velocity of 2 meters per second. Okay? For example, these are examples only. Okay? So that is called qualitative and quantitative reasoning. Clear? Then, after that reasoning, the fourth step is you have to make a mathematical model. Simply formula. You have to make a formula. Formula, you know that from 9th grade you have studied formula physically. Force is equal to ma. Like that, you have to make a formula for the acceleration, velocity, inclination, everything for that particular event. F is equal to ma is a formula, right? Mathematical model, you know that. By knowing this formula, what you can do? If you know the force value is 1 and mass of this object is 2, okay, and acceleration is a, then you can find out the acceleration, right? You can predict this value. Acceleration will be 1 by 2, that is 0.5 meter per second square. You can predict the value using that equation. That is the next step. Fifth step. Prediction. Okay? Fifth is prediction. After prediction, what you have to do? You have to verify that whether this model, this formula is correct or not, right? Whether you are getting the correct answer or wrong answer. For that, what you have to do is 6th step, verification. Verification. In this process, what you will do? You will verify the calculation, and if you are getting a correct result, that is your correct study. If you are getting a wrong information, your calculation is wrong, your prediction is wrong, what you will do? Again, go to the first step. Again, observation, then controlled experiment, qualitative and quantitative, find the error, where you have made the error, in which step you have made an error. Do this process until you get the correct answer. This is called the systematic study, scientific study of an event. Any doubts? Okay. Then next, these processes, right? This study can be carried out on the basis of 2 basic principles. Those are principles of systematic study of an event. The principles of systematic study. 2 basic principles are there. First one is unification. Second one is reductionism. Unification and reductionism are 2 basic principles. First, unification. What is unification? I will tell you one example. As I explained earlier, physics is the collection of laws of nature. Around us, we have a lot of phenomenon happening around us, thousands of phenomena happening around us. We are observing that, we are studying those phenomena. If we study different laws for different phenomena, what happens? The study will become complex, right? To make the study easier, we unify the study. That is, one law can explain n number of phenomena around it, or n number of phenomena can be explained by one single law. That is called unification. For example, consider two events. One is falling of an falling of an object from a height, and second, motion of planets around sun. Motion of planets around sun. Both these different phenomena, right? Both these are different phenomena. Both these phenomena can be explained by a single law, that is Newton's law of gravitation. Okay, this is unification. Like this, n number of phenomena, physical phenomena can be explained using one single law. That will make the subject easier. Instead of making 1,000 laws for 1,000 different phenomena, unify it. One law can explain n number of phenomena. Okay. Then the next is reductionism. Reductionism is very simple. If you are observing a very complex process, if you want to solve that problem, that process, you divide it into n number of parts and solve those small parts. You will get that. For example, suppose a bullet is traveling with a velocity, with a speed, and it is striking a metal plate here. What happens? When a bullet is striken, it will move, right? This is moving with the velocity. This is also moving with velocity. This is speed. And this bullet strikes a pendulum here. What happens? This pendulum will swing. So, what is the velocity of this pendulum at theta angle? That is our study. We want to find out this value. So, what we do is we reduce this problem into small parts, and we will solve each small part. We will get the solution. So, these are the studies. The studies made simplified, right? Unification and reductionism. So we have studied the systematic way of studying, the steps involving systematic study of an event, and two basic principles, how those studies are carried out. Based on these principles, we can study any physical phenomenon. Okay? Then next is most important thing, the scope of physics. Scope of physics. Based on the scope, we have classified, the physics is classified into two. One, the first one is macroscopic study, and the second one is microscopic study. Macroscopic, based on the scope, physics is basically classified into two. That is, one is macroscopic study and the other is microscopic study. Microscopic study means microscopic means, you know that microscopic, we will study the minute particles. Minute particles means atoms, molecules. So these are recent development. recently we studied the minute particles, atoms, molecules like that, and their interaction properties, etc. So that is recent development. So it is called modern physics. Modern physics. Then macroscopic study. In macroscopic study, we won't go into the microscopic level of the object. We will consider the object as it is and we will study the behavior of the object. It again can be divided into one, mechanics, second, thermodynamics, third one, electromagnetism, fourth one, optics. Okay. In mechanics, we will study motion, friction, then work, energy, rotation, gravitation, properties of fluid, etc. In thermodynamics, we will study heat, temperature, thermodynamic processes, heat engine, refrigeration, etc. Then, in electromagnetism, look at this. These two things you will study in grade level. These are your chapters. We have to cover all this topic in grade level. So next is electromagnetism. Electromagnetism, you will study charge, field. This is in electrostatics. Same thing, magnetism, current electricity, then magnetism, current electricity, EM waves, electromagnetic waves, alternating current, electromagnetic induction, etc. Lots of things you have to study. Then optics, you have to study about light. Light, both particle and wave nature of light, interference, refraction, diffraction, then optical instruments, lens, mirrors, you will study in optics. It's also in 12th grade. And again, modern physics, you will study atom, nucleus, radiation, then semiconductors, etc. So look at this. All these chapters, we have to identify all the chapters. What important things I have wrote on the board. Look at this. These first two things you have to study in 11th grade. These things you have to study for 12th grade. We will cover all these chapters. I will give videos for all these chapters, including board level questions, 2-3 highly advanced questions with the solution. Any students can solve those questions. Chapter wise, topic wise, we will cover. So we will continue after the scope of physics. Next topic is the relation of physics with society and technology. how physics is related with technology and the society. You know that when technological advancement is there, we can say the society is developing, correct? When technological advancement. So 20 years back, mobile phones were not there. So the advancement of technology, of wave, invented electromagnetic waves, study of electromagnetic waves, new technology, wireless technology, communication. So society developed, right? So both three, the technology and the physics is interconnected, and it is related with the society, development of the society. So whenever a new technology is required, a new branch of physics is generated. So for example, ancient 20 years before, the engine, carburetor engine was used. Now we are using MPFI, microchip based fuel injection system. So advancement is required. Mechatronics, a new branch of physics, mechatronics is generated. So whenever technological advancement is required, then a new physics branch comes. Whenever a technological advancement is there, the society develops. So everything is mutually interrelated. And physics has done some bad to the society also. What was that? Nuclear bombing in Hiroshima. So we can use that nuclear energy for the betterment of humanity. So that should be our aim. Okay? We will conclude. The last topic will be 4 fundamental forces in nature. 4 fundamental forces. This will be the last topic in chapter 1. 4 fundamental forces in nature. So, 4 fundamental forces in nature. First one, we know that simple gravitational force. Two, electromagnetic forces. 3, strong nuclear force. 4, weak nuclear force. So these are the 4 fundamental forces in nature. We know that gravitational force. Any material object in the universe attract each other. Any material object in this universe attract each other with a force called gravitational force. And we will study about gravitational force. We have one detailed chapter in 11th grade. Now, understand that gravitational force is weak force. It is a weak force. Second is attractive in nature. Attractive in nature. Attractive means it can't be repelled, right? Any material object in the universe attract each other. That is the statement. So attractive in nature, then long range force. Long range force. Gravitational force we can experience at infinity. So we can experience, for example, Earth is revolving around the Sun, right? The gravitational force between Earth and Sun is there. The distance between the Sun and Earth is very, very, very large, right? So it is a long range force. Then
Electromagnetic force. It is the force of attraction or repulsion between two charges, or force of attraction or repulsion between the poles of magnet, right? Electromagnetic force. Both are there. So this force is also long range force. So this is for gravitation, long range force. Okay, this is also long range force, electromagnetic force. We can experience electromagnetic force at infinity. Then strong force. This is not weak force. Strong force, and it can be attractive or repulsive, because the statement, the charge, opposite charges will attract and like charges will repel each other. So it can be attractive or repulsive. This is strong force, long range force. This also we will study in 12th grade in electromagnetism. We will study about this force in detail. Strong nuclear force. So strong nuclear force is the strongest force in nature. Strongest force in nature. And it is a short range force. Short range force, because this force we can experience within the nucleus only. You know, atoms consist of nucleus and electron. Nucleus consists of protons and neutrons. So protons and neutrons are inside this nucleus, right? Neutrons are basically neutral in nature. Protons are positively charged. So all protons and neutrons are bound together with a force. That force is called strong nuclear force. Look at this. Protons and protons both are positive charge. It should repel, right? Positive charge should repel. But look at this. It is bound together with a force. That force is called, it should be greater than electrostatic force. Otherwise it will repel and fall apart, right? Then look at this. P and N, neutral and protons are bound together with a force which is called strong nuclear force. This is a short range force because we can experience this within this range, right? Within the nucleus itself. So it will be of the order of 10 raised to minus 15 meter. So next force is, the final one is weak nuclear force. This is a weak force. Then short range force of the order of 10 raised to minus 15 meter. This is also 10 raised to minus 15 meter. And this force you can experience in emission, radiation emission, radioactive emission. You can experience this force. This is the interaction of neutrinos and antineutrinos with the beta radiation. You can experience this force. This force is quantum level force. You don't need to study much about this force. This is short range force. This is also short range force and weak force. That's enough. So one more thing, we have to compare this force. Comparison of fundamental forces in nature. Comparison of fundamental forces in nature. So strongest nuclear force, if it is, this is 1, the electromagnetic force, we can compare the hierarchy, 10 raised to minus 2. Weak nuclear force, 10 raised to minus 12. Gravitational force, 10 raised to minus 36. So these are approximate comparison. If this is 1, this is 1 by 10. 10 raised to minus 2 is 1 by 100, right? This is 1 by 10 raised to 12. 10 raised to 12 means 10 into 10 12 zeros. This is 1 by 10 raised to 36. Minus 36 means 1 by 36. So 1 by 10 into 36 zeros. So that much least value when gravitational force is combined with this strong force. Okay? Then with this topic we finishes the first chapter. In the next video we will start the second chapter, units and measurements, which is an important chapter for your exam point of view also. You will get questions for your board exams and competitive exams like IIT, JEE, NEET. So we'll discuss both board questions as well as the competitive high level questions. We will solve that on board in the next video. So see you soon. Bye. Study well. All the best.